Hey, this is Ciderhelm, and welcome to Mechanical. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how Lux functions. Lux is an ability power caster with long-range abilities. Her normal attack range is 550, and she has a responsive attack animation. All of her abilities are skill shots. Additionally, all of her abilities can be blocked by Spell Shield. Finally, all of her abilities interrupt her movement. None of her abilities reveal her in the fog of war, meaning she cannot be specifically targeted if she uses her abilities while not otherwise visible to her opponents. Lux's passive is Illumination. Anytime Lux deals damage with one of her abilities, a debuff is applied to all affected targets for several seconds. If Lux lands a normal attack on a debuffed target, that target will take a burst of magic damage and the debuff will be removed. The Illumination debuff does not stack, meaning that maximum damage is achieved by consuming Illumination debuffs between spells. Illumination is not affected in any way by spell shields. Lux's Light Binding is a skill shot that immobilizes and deals magic damage to the first two enemies in a line. The second target struck by Light Binding takes less damage and is immobilized for a shorter duration than the first. When Lux can see her target, Light Binding will make an audible sound as it strikes them. However, no visual or audio indications are given if her Light Binding strikes a target that she cannot see. Since the projectile continues until it hits a second target, this means Lux may be unaware if she has hit a target if she fires toward the stealth unit or into concealed terrain. Lux's Prismatic Barrier is a line skill shot that moves outward before turning around and returning to Lux. When cast, Lux is briefly shielded, and allies are briefly shielded as the Prismatic Barrier passes over them. Upon returning, the Prismatic Barrier will apply shields to new allies and refresh shields on allies who have already received the effect, including Lux. This ability has no effect on enemy units. Lux's Lucent Singularity creates a singularity of light that lasts for several seconds. Any units inside this are moderately slowed, though the slow wears off quickly upon leaving the area. When cast, vision is briefly granted along the path between Lux and the targeted area. The singularity itself also grants vision over the duration, and this vision covers a larger area than the singularity itself. After several seconds, this singularity detonates, dealing magic damage to any units still in the area. Alternatively, Lux can detonate it early by activating the ability a second time, provided crowd controls do not prevent her from casting. If Lux dies while Lucent Singularity is active, it will instantly detonate, dealing damage. However, if Lux dies after she casts Lucent Singularity but before it lands, the Singularity will last the full duration before detonating. Note that only the detonation of Lucent Singularity will apply her Illumination passive debuff. The cooldown for Lucent Singularity begins when the initial spell is cast, not when the pool is detonated. Lux's ultimate is Final Spark. After a brief cast animation, a laser is fired in a straight line over an extremely long distance. All targets struck by this laser are dealt significant magic damage. Additionally, the laser will consume her Illumination debuff on any targets who currently have it, dealing the bonus damage from her passive. Additionally, her passive is applied to all targets hit by the laser, even if the laser consumed a previous debuff. Final Spark grants vision immediately upon casting, and this vision lasts until shortly after the laser is fired. While Final Spark has a cast time, this is not channeled and cannot be interrupted. Even if Lux is displaced as she is casting, the source and direction of the laser are not changed. The damage from Lux's ultimate is prevented by spell shields. Final Spark will still consume her passive Illumination debuff on a target with a spell shield, but this will not deal damage and a new debuff will not be applied. In other words, blocking her ultimate with a spell shield not only blocks the damage, but also effectively removes Illumination, making it doubly useful. Final Spark has a very short cooldown for an ultimate. Thanks for watching Mechanical Lux, and stay tuned for the complete Lux Champion Guide.